So guys, I got a good one for you today, and I almost didn't film it. I was starting to diagnose the no start on this customer's KS4 Sambar. I don't even know what year model it is. It was shipped to me from Baltimore. They got it off of the ship from Japan and could not get it to start. They were frantic to get it to start, and they just decided they were going to bring it to me anyway to do time belt, water pump, and some other stuff later down the road. They would just go ahead and have it shipped down to me, and for me to go ahead and get everything lined up at once. So again, not sure the year model, haven't even looked at the kilometers on it. Literally pushed it down the driveway from where the shipper left it at my gate last night. We got 88,000 kilometers on the clock. It is a crank no start, and this is basically the condition it was left to me in. That flap is missing for the radiator access. I don't know if it's under the carpet piece there in the floor. I haven't even dug through that. The side view mirror is knocked off of it. I don't know if the buyer knew that or if that was a shipper or whoever. I've gotten the bed cover back, and the bolts were already out of the engine cover. It was just sitting there, and kind of everything strewn about. Well, if I recall correctly through email, the owner of the truck, purchaser of the truck, thought that the coil, ignition coil, was bad and it wasn't getting spark. I just confirmed it does have spark at the coil with my spark tester here. And looks like they were running the battery low. I've got my top-down jump box hooked up. Looks like they put a new battery in it, but they also bent the crap out of the battery box cover trying to get to the battery. All they had to do was take off that bolt, but they might not have had any tools with them. I'll try to straighten that out for the customer and get that back lined up well. Gas door is flipped open too. I guess they thought it was out of gas because it's only showing a quarter tank. It might be out of gas, but I think I found the issue. So we do have spark, and looks like they might have just fuel fouled the plugs. I pulled out plug number 1. It was completely black, completely wet. Put it in my spark plug tester. It did not spark at all. Cleaned it up good with a wire brush carefully and some brake parts cleaner and got it to spark again. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rest of these spark plugs out, see if they are just as fuel fouled. Go ahead and clean them up, put them back in, and hopefully this truck will run. I assume it was a run and drive when he purchased it at the auto auction in Japan, and just someone flooded it trying to get it off of the truck, or just something happened weird, and hopefully it's nothing major. Still going to be doing a time belt, water pump job and all that good stuff later down the road. He is actually going to purchase the parts and have them shipped to me, I think was the situation we had worked out, but I'm not sure. I might just go through and get a parts list, tell him the prices, order it, and have it shipped directly to me from Japan Parts or Amayama, whichever one's got the best prices right now. So we're going to go ahead and pull these spark plugs out. I'll show you what they look like, show you how they test in the spark plug tester, and we'll see if it starts once we get it all back together. And plug number 2 is out. And yeah, it is soaking wet, fuel fouled as well. Let's go ahead and put it in spark plug tester, get it cleaned up, and get some fire back in this engine. So we do got a proper set of NGK plugs in this thing. Go ahead and pop it in here, and yep, no spark whatsoever. We are fuel fouled. I'll go ahead and clean it up and show you the results of that. Clean the plug up. We knew I should have spark back. We got a little fire up. We're in and out. This one still needs some more cleaning, or it's got some cracked porcelain. So I might have a spare set of, there we go. Yeah, we've got, you see that little bit of fire right there leaking out of the side of the porcelain? Looks like we got a bad spark plug here. Because it's not going to the electrode, it's jumping to the side where the ground strap is. Or not jumping from the electrode to the ground strap. I'm not sure this is going to work or not. I'm going to try to turn the lights off, and oh, it turns my power strip off. Let me unplug the light while keeping my power strip on. And see if you can see what it is I'm trying to show you. Where, there you go. You can see the spark is going from the electrode down the insulator and jumping to the ground strap rather than jumping the arc at the top of the electrode to the ground strap as a spark plug normally should. We add more power through the spark plug and it will jump the gap, but at lower levels, it's arcing around the side. So I might try to find a used set of Sambar spark plugs I've got that are still good, just worn down, to try to start this engine, because that's not good. I thought I had some more carbon stuck on the side of that porcelain there, but it looks like I'm not. It looks like there's some hairline cracks that the current is jumping through. All right, guys, so I wasn't able to find any of my old used spark plugs that I normally keep on hand. I normally keep a couple of good known used ones in cases like this. But number two's definitely got some cracking issues on the porcelain. 3 and 4 were all right. 1 was all right. I've got them completely cleaned up. All of them are sparking and spark plug testers. So let's see if it'll start. And if it'll start and run at least puttering, then we should be good on our coil, distributor, all of our ignition system up. Put spark plugs in it and should be good to go. So let's go ahead and see if it'll start now. So it has started and is running, just not very well. It's got to puff and burn all of that fuel that was in those combustion chambers and everything out of there, and those spark plugs are pretty weak and pretty gross, so let it run and clear out, get some temperature built up, and should be good to go. Showing you a tech that doesn't exist. I don't know what I'm doing here. It's running, but not great. We do need spark plugs. But we confirmed that coil's good, distributor's good, fuel pump's good, carb's good, or at least marginally enough good for it to run. But with that cracked spark plug in number 2, we definitely need to put a set of spark plugs in it before diagnosing any further and see how much different it'll run with those good spark plugs. She's definitely stinky, that's for sure. So this thing is smoothing out quite a bit now that it's getting closer to operational temperature. There is a problem though. In revving it up under the hood or under the bed, it sounds like there might be a rod knot going on around cylinder 1 or cylinder 2. It seems to be near the front side of the engine. I did find some paperwork in here. This is a 1993 model. And my kanji, again, is not so great, so I don't know what classification this is. Looks like, I think they use alphanumerical. I think they do C and 3.5. I think 1 is great and 5 is horrible. And I think it goes A through D, but I'm not exactly sure. It's been a while since I've looked at an imported car. I might be in completely the wrong spot. But it looks like it came from Auction Tokyo, was purchased, I guess, November 1st before it got here. This is just the inspection sheet before it went through the auto auction. I'm assuming that's July 14th, but not too sure. Really hate it for the customer, but pretty sure that is a rod knocking. Put my stethoscope on it, put it towards the block and the oil pan parting line, revved it up, and just going by ear, I think it's about 5,000 RPM or so, I start hearing a sporadic knocking noise inside the engine. Hopefully it's not a rod knock, but I wouldn't hold my breath that it's not. Looking around under here as well, we got a random wire, big tail. Not exactly sure what that came off of. Maybe something to do with the radio that's missing in the trim piece here. But definitely this piece is missing the flap for the radiator, which is not good. I tried looking around a little bit for it, but I'm just not seeing it. There's another inspection sheet. We got X's there because there are some dings on the doors. I'll have to use Google Translate lens later and translate that, see if I can get any information off of it. But other than that, nothing really to report to you guys. So we definitely got it running. It was definitely the fuel fouled spark plugs. It was definitely it's definitely needing a set of spark plugs due to the crack in the porcelain on those plugs. It ran really rough to start with, of course, because everything was fuel soaked in the cylinders. It's running better now, but again, I'm hearing that knocking noise, and I'll put in a small clip of it. I don't want to keep revving it up and making it knock and making it make that noise, because I do not want to shoot a rod through the side of this customer's engine block on a truck they haven't even seen yet. They're in Tennessee. It came into the port of Baltimore. They couldn't get it to run, so they just shipped it to me to diagnose the issue and do the general maintenance stuff on it, but I don't think it's really worth putting a time belt, water pump, all that stuff on if it's got potentially a rod knocking. And it's not very easy to get engines or short blocks for these trucks from Japan to the US. So waiting to talk to the customer, see what they want to do about it, see if they want to put the stuff in, maintenance stuff in this engine and he can come pick it up, or try to work out something with an engine or pull the oil pan and actually go in there and see if there is a rod bearing that is spun or damaged, see if there's any play in the rod on the crankshaft to confirm, and go from there. So just waiting to hear back on that. I'll let you guys know in the comment section below or in the video description or in a follow-up video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one.